Yo, what up, guys? Brief 5D here, and I have some hot news dropping right now as part of this Python fusion that is currently going on. It's gonna be a summon rush that we are all expecting to happen on a Friday, the 20th or so. And that part of the summon rush, it's gonna be a 10x. But what are the champions that will be advertised as part of this 10x? That's the information I wanted to drop for you right now. That is shared by this in the content creator chat, and we have to let you know so you can decide whether you want to go for that 10x or not. Like as a default disclaimer that I put in all my videos, 10x are a scam. It's possible that you pull all your shards for this 10x and you will not get any of the ones that are advertised on this one until they make it a 20x or a 30x. All right, so let me tell you about the champions that are advertised as part of this 10x. It's going to be 4 epics and 4 legendaries. So that's what is coming, and also part of it is going to be a guaranteed champion. Now I say that one with a little bit of stress, but it's not a huge guaranteed champion. It's not a void legendary guaranteed champion. It's just a void epic guaranteed champion. So let's take a look at these champions that are part of this 10x and decide whether they are worth going for. Of course, if you're going for this Python fusion, you might have no choice but to pull your shards for this summon rush. So as you pull your shard for this summon rush, you might get any of these champions, hopefully, especially if you're close to Messi. So the first one that is advertised is Rio Bone Spear. Yes, that's the first one. Rio Bone Spear is from the Shadow King faction. She's sort of new to raid Shadow Legends, and I do not have this champion. I don't have a lot of information about her. So that's the first champion. If you're looking forward to owning this champion, this is an opportunity, especially if you're end game in raid and you're no longer pulling shard for 2x events and you're that close to your Messi, you might want to go for this champion and obtain Rio Bone Spear. That's the first champion advertised right now. All right, the second champion that is advertised as part of this 10x is going to be Duchess Lilitu, and she is well known in Raid Shadow Legends for being one of the best support champions you can ever get. She's from the Demon Spawn faction, is a champion I recently obtained on my main account, and it's one that I'm still trying to feel her out, test her out, use her in a lot of content, and get a lot of knowledge about her before I put out a champion guide about her. So yes, I'm still trying to understand how she works and best places to use her, of course, before I talk about her in a video. So that's this champion. I think she's the best out of all these champions that is advertised in this 10x. But again, you might pull all your shards. You can pull void shards, you can pull ancient shards, you can also pull sacred shards to obtain these 10x champions. It's not limited to any particular shard type. So hopefully, as you're pulling your ancient shard or sacred shard for this summon rush, pray you get a Duchess if you don't already own her. Good support champion, good revive, puts up a lot of buffs. I'm intending to use her in Hydra. That's where she's gonna serve me, or when I maybe decide to push for the Hydra brutal, she might also serve me in that content. All right, the third legendary champion that is advertised as part of this 10x is gonna be one that is best known, a old fusion champion, which if you got him that time, you appreciate that fusion so much. We don't see fusions like that anymore. He's gonna be under Priest Brogni, one champion that I appreciate so much, and it took my content to a lot of places. A lot of people try to use him for clan boss. He serves in a lot of content. He especially helped me in Doom Tower stages, and of course I'm also using this champion in Hydra. I don't use him in other dungeons or anything like that, just end game content, and I don't use it in my clan boss because I have an unkillable team. But if the noob to pro obtains a under Priest Brockney, it will be awesome for our clan boss team, because that's one of the good champions right there in the clan boss that brings a lot of things you need: big shields, heals, and of course HP burn on his A1. So, and the cleanse also. All right, that's under Priest Brogni. If you pull him during this 10x, you find yourself extremely lucky. The fourth champion that is advertised is, again, they're trying to push us champions from the Sylvan Watchers faction, and it's gonna be Elva. I hear a lot of good things about this champion, but it's not one that I own. It's not one that I also know about. I'm not gonna bore you with the details. I think she was part of the fusion that I skipped out on that fusion, right? Or a guaranteed event, something like that, and I refused to pull my shards for it. I forget. No, she wasn't the fusion. I think it was a guaranteed champion event, and I did not want to pull my shards to obtain her. I think it's 20 shards or so. Anyways, that's Elva Autumn Born, and she's gonna be the 4th legendary that is part of this 10x on Friday. If you're pulling shards, you can obtain her by pulling legendary secret shards or ancient shards. All right, now to the epic champions, the one that a lot of newer players who are trying to build their unkillable teams will be trying to get the most is gonna be Man Eater. He's from the Ogreen Tribes faction, and this champion will change your account entirely once you get him on your account. He's a void champion, and that means you have to pull void shards to get this one on that 10x. So I pray you get a Man Eater if you don't yet have an unkillable teams, but these days block damage teams are ruling more than even unkillable teams. But he's still one of the ones that people build in single Man Eater team, budget Man Eater, double Man Eater teams, ultimate. So it's a one that is easy to build, extremely easy to build, and you can get him and make him part of your unkillable teams. If you're new to raid, he can also serve in other places. He has a turn meter, steal, yes, he adds him to his own turn meter and take an extra turn. Awesome champion right here in Racial Elegance, and I hope to one day do a guide about him that is not about the clan boss. Yes, I'm actually want to talk about what you can do in other content, because people just put him in the clan boss and they don't use him in any other content except maybe Faction Wars, where he's also very awesome. This champion, you know, is totally worth all the hype he gets in raid. Despite after all the new block damage teams are coming up, he's still very viable in raid. So if you pull your voice shards and you obtain this champion from this epic champion, extremely lucky right there, and build your unkillable teams. Let me know in the comments if you need any help with that, or also join the Discord for any of those type of builds. The next epic that is advertised as part of this 10x is Korrigan. That's from the Lizardman faction, and is one that I have never built, and I don't think I'll ever build. The only place I've seen this champion being used right there is maybe in Doom Tower secret rooms, because of this I think there's a particular lizard man where some people building for that content. Even for Faction Wars, I don't even see him being used, except you're very, very unlucky and you don't have good lizard man epics. So by the time you get some other champions like Venomage, I think she's part of this faction, right? Yeah, Venomage and some other ones, Aox, you're like, Broadmoor is here, you're like, who is Korrigan? You usually don't build him. So some people even prefer to go Jarak, at least for Faction Wars. So this champion is advertised. If I obtain him, I have never built him, I don't know much about him, so let me know in the comments if there's any other place you've used this champion in raid. It's not one that is even in my radar I'll ever take to 50 or 60. It's not like it's a bad champion, I just don't have experience about him. So all right, Muslim Mage is the 3rd champion, epic champion that's advertised right now in this 10x that is coming up on Friday as part of this Python fusion, and that Muslim Mage is in the Undead faction. Yes, this champion I hope to do a champion guide about soon, and is awesome one right here in Racial Audience that does a big heal for your team, huge heal right there. So, and a cleanse, yes, removes all debuffs from all allies and heals them by 10% of this champion's max HP. So pump Muslim Mage with all the HP you have, and he will do a lot of heal for your team, and also cleanse. Especially useful in those Doom Tower stages where the spider places a bunch of poisons on you. If you don't have a cleanser right there, it will be extremely difficult, especially in the hard stages of that. And also has a 3 debuffs bringing right here, which this champion is usually paired with a seer, because she relies on a lot of buffs to strip and then do a lot of damage. So that's why a lot of people use him with seer. Increase crit rate, increase defense, and block debuff buff is the 3 debuffs he places on your allies. On a 3-turn cooldown is crazy for a epic to do this. So he's also viable in the clan boss for this block debuff and increase defense. Those 2 debuffs is extremely useful for the clan boss, at least for your allies. He doesn't do a lot of damage or any damage at all. He's just built with HP and speed to do all these his support roles. Awesome champion right here. No revive, but enough heals and buffs to keep your team alive. All right, the last champion is one of my most wanted champion on the New to Pro series, and that is Sepulchre Sentinel. She's from the Nitro faction. I have a lot of knowledge about this champion from my main account, where she stayed in my clan boss team for a long time until I got double man eaters or single man eaters. So she's from the Night Rev and an epic champion you can find right here. If you obtain this champion, your clan boss is set Decrease attack on the A1 is one of the most important things for the clan boss because it's going to be consistent. And then this her block, debuff buff, and increase defense, just like Muslim Mage. But you know, she just does it better because of the A1, and she's based on defense. That means you can stack a lot of defense on this champion and she will survive. Awesome champion right here that will never get old in Rachel Legends. No matter how many epics come out, no matter how many legendaries come out that does similar roles that she can do, she's still gonna be #1 champion that a lot of newer players will be trying to get for the clan boss if you're building a killable team. So she's also viable in other content. I hope to show her in other content soon, but a lot of people just use her for the clan boss and maybe some dungeon runs sometimes to keep your team alive. But I want to see where else she can shine. Maybe someday we'll highlight her in other content soon. Increase defense, allied defense in all battles 25%. She's usually in the leader slot because of this. And of course, like I said, that A1, a cool passive that will block damage entirely from one of your allies whenever the boss hits them. So that's also one that sometimes might be in your favor, and you end up somebody will be 0 HP and she keep them alive with this passive. Awesome champion right here. So these are the epics and legendaries that will be part of this 10x. I know I'm smiling and talking about these champions because I love them so much, but remember, 10x is a scam. You pull all your shards, you get a lot of epics, but none of them might be part of these ones that are advertised. But you keep your fingers crossed and hopefully you get them if you're extremely lucky. Now onto the main event. The guaranteed champion event is going to be an epic champion from the Skinwalkers faction. And how can you obtain this guaranteed champion? You only have to pull 40 void shards, right? Let me quickly confirm it. Guaranteed event, as part of this 10x also 40 void shard. That's what you have to pull to obtain this champion. This champion's name is Akemtum. It's not one that I know about. Let me quickly find where that champion is. Right here. He's a new champion to Rachel Legends. I think so. Probably last year or so. It's not a champion I know about, and it's a cat. And what does this champion do? Let's find out if it's even worth 40 void shards. That's the first thing. On the A1, this champion hits 3 times. Each hit 40% chance of placing poison. That's a good A1. 3 hits, each hit 40% chance, booked up to a 50% chance. So there's a chance that this champion will place 3 poisons. Most likely it'll be 1 or 2. But if you're lucky, that's it. If the target is under hex debuff, each hit will also has a 40% chance of applying a debuff spread effect, taking 1 random debuff from the target and place it on all enemies. This A1 can spread debuffs, of course, if the target is under hex. Now, I don't know about if the target is hitting have to have the hex, but the other enemies does not have to have the X for him to spread the poison to them, I hope. So that's a good A1, an awesome A1. It's kind of rare for an epic champion to have such a useful A1. I know it's a 50% chance of landing the poison, but there is no... Okay, it's also a 40% chance, 50% chance of applying the debuffs spread. So it's not like something you want to rely on, but when it happens, it's extremely useful. So on the A2, he lands his X by himself, so attacks 3 times, each hit 60% chance, booked up to a 75% chance of increasing the duration of any hex debuff on the enemies. He doesn't land it. This one increased duration. I thought he's gonna land the hex. If enemies are under hex debuff, also has a 60% chance of placing hex debuff for 2 turns. Okay, I'm not under hex. Okay, so he does land the hex. All right, that's what I wanted to hear. So if they have a hex, he will increase the duration of the hex. If they don't have an hex, he will place an hex on them. He attacks 3 times. Hopefully, is this an attack based on his damage is based on attack? He might be able to do some nuking. Awesome right there. On the passive, he has only A1 and A2. Passive has a 80% chance, booked up to a 100% chance of inflicting damage from 1 poison debuff to enemies under X whenever the allies receive damage from poisons. Okay, whenever they are allies, all right. So whenever somebody takes a damage from poison, if others have a hex on them, he will also apply 1 poison, not the entire damage from all the poisons. So if somebody takes 3 poison hits, only one of those poison hits will be spread onto the other enemies. That's what it means. I think so. All right. Increase speed in all battles 18%. That's awesome. But while you okay, I wanted to protest why it's 18%, but I understood that it's an epic, so it's perfectly fine that he has this, and it might be in the leader slot. This champion will be awesome for faction wars of these skinwalkers where you don't have a lot of useful champions like we just saw. But that's the champion that will be in the guaranteed champion. So the question is, will he be worth 40 void shards? Extremely hell no. This is from an end game perspective. On the noob to pro, if I had 40 void shards and I was pulling, will it be worth 40 void shards? Hell no. 40 void shards is a lot. I've been playing for a while on my main account, and I don't think I even have 40 void shards right now to boast of. If I switch over to that account, let me see. Do I have 40 void shards? I don't think I do. So even if I did, I will not be pulling my shards for this. You want to save your void shards or ancient shards or secret shards for a guaranteed champion event. I think it would be 80 or 90 or 100. So whenever there's a guaranteed void legendary, that's when I'll pull it. Not for a guaranteed epic. A guaranteed epic is like they're just doing it because they have to do something. I don't think it's something you have to go for at all right now in raid. All right, that's my verdict about these champions that are advertised right now. Let me know what you think about any of them, and if you're pulling your shards towards this Python fusion as part of this summon rush, I wish you good luck that you obtain any of these legendary champions that have been listed right here. Very low chance, but I hope you have good luck with it. I will not be pulling my shards on this weekend, this 10x or this Python fusion at all. I'll be saving all my shards for the next week, where we have a 2x on secrets coming up, and then yeah, hopefully we get something by then. Hit that like button for me in this video and let me know what you think about these champions that are out on this 10x. Remember, it's a scam. Just pull the number of shards required for you to get the Python fusion points and stop. Save all your shards. It's not worth 40 void shards for this epic champion. Even if it's gonna be game changing for some people, I think you pull him naturally in some other time. I don't think you need to pull 40 void shards to just obtain him, except you want maybe go for, you want one of the ones that advertise. Maybe you want a man-eater so bad, then you're actually pulling for man-eater. You're not pulling for this void epics. Now if they put man-eater as 40 void shards, a lot of people will pull 40 void shards to obtain a man-eater, I tell you. Or a Demeter. All right guys, I'll see you guys later in the evening for a noob to pro update. Later.